Tengen Uzui during the training arc, right? Tengen, he retired, but he came back to get that, make sure his boys were in shape, because they were having to go into battle against Muzan and the rest of the demons. He wanted to make sure they were in tip top shape. Um, so he was running them through kendo training essentially, right? Using one arm, he was able to stave off most of the fucking lower rank uh, um demon slayers. During this training, he was fighting against all of them at once. He was beating their ass. He's like, you guys need to be, better than this. You hope to take down demons. Demons who are like more powerful than you ever like faced before. Tandro stepped forward and they were like, oh shit, Komodo's actually, doing something. Tengen's like, Tandro's come a ways even since like the time, we actually took down Daki and Gyutaro together. Him and Tengen took down, Gyutaro together. It was a collective effort, but he was, he acknowledged his like growth and shit. He was like, yeah, Tandro is like gonna help, defeat Muzan. He's actually about his shit. You guys should strive to be like him. That kind of thing during the training, right? And he came through for a day to train these guys. He was, giving them the fucking work with one arm sword fighting and shit. He was doing pretty fucking good too. If you ask me. And I know he's my favorite character, but I'm not saying he's like the best Hashira either. Like it's just that's just not the reality. With one arm, you know, he's still doing his thing, But he was good enough to be considered a bodyguard, right? He's got that going for him. And he can handle these weak ass demons. Not no upper moons or anything. So with that being said, how powerful was he during that arc? This season, right? 92 or 91 for his strength, right? Speed 96%, durability 90%, endurance 90%, 89 for his intelligence, 92 for his experience, 90 for his close skills, 89 for his range skills, 89 for his recoup, and 89 for his hacks. So overall power score for Tengen Uzui is a 90.5 during the Hashira training arc. Be cool with around the corner. Uh, and man, let me know what you think about him in the comments.